soldiers, don't fight for slavery, fight for liberty. In the 17th chapter of St. Luke it is written, the kingdom of God is within man, not one man nor a group of men, but in all men, in you the people have the power. Do not despair. The misery that is now upon us is but the passing of greed.
Charlie Chaplin, it's his partial lack of moral interpretude that really gets everyone. I mean, this guy's right on the edge of doing right and wrong. It's amazing. And you got to remember, this guy was famous worldwide because without the language, which is not necessary, these films went over in Bombay, India, wherever, from Marrakesh to Moscow. Like, you know, see, this guy was a world famous person. The Little Tramp was the world famous person. Probably the first one. He was kicked out of the United States for having socialist leanings, and he went to France and produced a whole bunch more films like that, but, you know, he was not liked in America.
To do away with national barriers, to do away with greed, with hate and intolerance. Let us fight for a world of reason.
70 years later, the Venus Project. Betty Davis.
If I were a gentleman, you just
evil.
suppose I'd care for a cheap, vulgar little...
Like an old comfortable
Get out.
pair of slippers.
Get out!
Moral to the story is, never lose your head over a piece of tail.
We pledge ourselves to be bound together as brothers in a life and death friendship, sharing alike in fortune and in trouble. Second article. All monies and valuables which may come into our possession shall be lumped together into a common fund. And from this fund shall first be taken the money to fit, rig, and provision the ship. After that, the recompense each will receive who is wounded as follows. For the loss of a right arm, 600 pieces of 8. Left arm, 500. For the loss of a right leg, 500. Left leg, 400.
A fellow can get rich if he's lucky.
Greedy, greedy. Now, men, you've heard the agreement. It's the world against us, and us against the world. His hand will be against every man, and every man's hand against him. Genesis 16, chapter 12, verse. Those of you in favor of these articles, raise your right hands and say aye! Aye!
With your hands, are you with love? I'm wounds all here. On your hands, your hands, are you with love?
I love old films. I really do. Time marches on, but not much changes, except science and technology.
You did Monte Carlo the night you blew your brains out. How we laughed.